Hey, welcome back to Exploring the YouTube website. So, if you haven't already, I recommend watching episode 1 first. If I'm completely honest, it's a little bit boring, but it kind of lays the groundwork and gives you a general idea of what we're doing here. But in case you don't want to watch that one, I'm going to kind of re-explain some stuff here. So basically what I did in that episode is I started with the YouTube homepage and I clicked on every link I could possibly find, except for actual videos and YouTube channels, because there is seemingly infinite of those. So I clicked on everything else, and then some of those pages that I had opened, I went through and discovered that there's nothing interesting in there, and so then I closed that page. And I went through a few of them like that and got rid of the pages that I would call dead ends. Because like if you think of the website in like a tree-like structure, the home page leads to these pages, this page leads to those, this leads to those, this leads to those, and of course there's going to be some crossover where you can get to this page from either of those, and it becomes kind of a tangled web. But that's what you would expect. The problem with the YouTube website is you don't get that. You have all kinds of random pages that don't fit anywhere within the structure and makes no sense. How am I supposed to get to this? How did I get to this? Where did I find this in the first place? I have the tab open, but where did it come from? And so I guess I'm kind of mapping that out. And so in today's episode, I have these tabs, are the ones that we left off with at the end of the last episode, and I'm going to do that exact same process for each of these. I'm going to treat each of these like it's the homepage and click on every single link within it and see what I can open up, see what I can find. And of course, getting rid of any duplicates along the way, getting rid of things I've already seen. And I've reorganized these in order of least likely to most likely to be a dead end page, because I would like to get rid of as many pages as possible, because this process is very complicated and messy, and so I'm trying to stay as organized as possible. This is also my third time attempting to record this episode, because the first time the mic kept quitting on me, and the second time I just wasn't happy with how it was going. So let's try this again. So I'm going to start over here at this end. We got the terms of service, and then we have the privacy and terms, which contains the terms of service. And I was very confused by this last time, but what I figured out is this is the YouTube terms of service. This is the Google privacy policy and the Google terms of service. I don't care about the Google stuff because I'm going to do separate videos about that stuff. This series is about YouTube, so I can close that Google tab. So then we got the YouTube terms of service. And I'm not going to waste my time reading these because you don't really need to. This is just a bunch of miscellaneous legal jargon that's meant to protect them in the case of a lawsuit or something. But what I have done is I've already skimmed the whole thing, and I will click on every link within this page again, because I've already done this before. And of course, this is the most recent version. I'm not going to bother with the previous versions. So we can close that out. That was this, and now we have this. So I'll just do the same thing through this, clicking on everything, because I am just a little bit insane. But also for the sake of thoroughness. This linked to this, we've already gone through this, so I'll close it. This is the Google privacy, I don't care about that. This is how YouTube works, I already have that open in a different page, so that's a duplicate. This is something new, but there's nothing interesting. So, close that. I have not purchased anything from YouTube, so I can close that. YouTube help, I already have this open in a different tab. This is new. So now I shall click on more things. That was boring. Close that. We've already gone through that. So close that. Duplicate, 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 duplicate. We've already gone through the account settings, so close that. Google privacy again. Purchases again. YouTube help again. Google again. Already went through that. Already went through that. Already went through that. How YouTube works. Duplicate. This is new. YouTube Kids parental guide. This is something I will just kind of tuck away and come back to later. YouTube help again. YouTube help. Help. How YouTube works. YouTube help. Help. How YouTube works. Help. Privacy in Google. This is new. Let me briefly skim this and click on more things. Alright, that's garbage. This is Google businesses and data. I don't care about that. Google data centers. I don't care about that. YouTube help. 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 How YouTube works. Help. 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 YouTube works. Help. How YouTube works. Google account. Google account help. Alright, to quickly recap what just happened. We had the terms of service and the privacy in terms. We got rid of the privacy in terms because that's Google stuff. We went through every link in the terms of service, and I've already skimmed it, so I already know that there's nothing interesting in there or relevant to this video that's worth mentioning in this video. But yeah, we clicked on every single link within the terms of service, and all we ended up with was this kids parental guide, which looks a lot like YouTube Help, but it's not apparently. So I'm just gonna put that over by YouTube Help and save it for later. And so actually I'm gonna write this down because I'm mapping this out on paper. So onto the second camera angle. You can ignore all of this down here because that is from the first time I tried filming today's video. This we don't care about because that's Google. This terms here led us to the kids parental guide. That is all that we got from there, which this does not make sense to fit within there. It feels like this should be like within here. And maybe it will be. Maybe I'll get to this from here when I go through that page, but this is, I don't know. So we're back to a clean slate. All of that was one tab, one page. We went through one page and we got all of that. And so you see, most of that was duplicates of things we have already seen or I already have open in a different tab waiting for me to go through that thing later. And so I just close out all the duplicates because I don't care about them. So now that we're back at a fresh, clean slate, I'm going to go to Contact Us. Now, this goes back to what I was saying earlier about how YouTube's structure is a disaster. If I go to, say, for example, About YouTube, and we've got this little About YouTube logo up here. Let's say I click on something within that, and I go to that. Bad example. All right, try the blog. We've got the blog logo up here. We click on something within the blog and go to that page. It says blog up here, and then it bolds this to imply that we are on this page within this. And I can click on this to get back to that, to get back to where that came from. Again, close the duplicate. If I go to the Contact Us page, this is bolded, which implies it's come from one of these. So if I click on these in new tabs, we can see we've got About YouTube, another duplicate, How YouTube Works is a duplicate, YouTube Jobs, which is new. But all three of these, I have already looked through them, and nowhere on any of them is a link to this Contact Us. Where did this come from? How do I get to this? I don't understand where this fits within the structure of the site. What I do know is I got this link from the homepage, but it doesn't fit anywhere else. So I'll close out the duplicates and tuck away the YouTube Jobs for the moment and back to the Contact Us. Let's click on every other link within this thing. And again, I don't care about any info within this page. Now we've got duplicate, Google Help, duplicate, YouTube Press, that's new, YouTube Creators, which is a duplicate, YouTube Advertising, which is a duplicate, YouTube Help, duplicate, 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 Terms of Service, we already went through, duplicate, YouTube for Developers, duplicate, Google Search Central, that's a Google thing, we don't care about it. This is a YouTube video. This is a video about YouTube. All right, quick recap. We started with Contact Us and we ended up with YouTube Jobs and Press. So again, I'm going to write this stuff down. We started this time with Contact Us. We went through it and we ended up with YouTube Jobs and Press. Ta-da. Now hold on a minute. This Press-YouTube looks similar to YouTube for Press, but that is actually the YouTube blog. Why they call it YouTube for Press when it's the blog, I don't know, because this Press-YouTube is completely different. And again, where does this page fit within the website? The same as the Contact Us page. There's no logo up here, but you can see it turns into a hand, which implies there's a hidden link there. If you look down there, you'll see About. If I click here, and I'm going to do it in a new tab like that, clicking the middle mouse button, it brings us to About YouTube, which implies that we can get to Press-YouTube from About YouTube. Well, looky here, we got a little press link. What if I click on that? Nope, that brings us to the blog, not to Press-YouTube. It brings us to YouTube for Press. So how do I get to this? I know how I got to it. I got to it from the Contact Us page, but why from there? That's such a weird place to put it within the structure of the site. So I'll close that out because that's a duplicate that I just created. And let's explore this page. So what is this page? YouTube for Press. Wait a minute. Hold on. Press-YouTube, YouTube for Press. But this is YouTube for Press. But this is, help me. Whatever. Let's just get through this page and get it out of here. I want to get it off my computer. What is this page? Well, you can quickly find the stats and videos you're looking for along with the guidelines for crediting and broadcasting them. Alright, so this page probably contains stuff that I don't care about, which makes it a dead end, which means I can go through this quickly and then get rid of it and get back to the pages that make sense. YouTube by the numbers. View all YouTube statistics. And it brought us back up to the top of the page. Why? Don't know. Global reach. Over 2 billion logged in users visit YouTube each month, and every day people watch over 1 billion hours of video and and generate billions of views, and I contribute a lot. More than 70% of YouTube watch time comes from mobile devices. YouTube has launched local versions in more than 100 countries, and you can navigate YouTube in a total of 80 different languages. No, I can't. I only speak one. Investing in creators. That sounds good to me. The number of channels earning 6 figures per year on YouTube grew more than 40% year after year, or year over year, or year per year. That sounds pretty cool to me. I would like to quit my day job as soon as possible. The number of channels earning 5 figures per year on YouTube grew more than 50% each year. The number of channels with more than 1 million subscribers grew more than 65% per year. Very nice. So you're telling me there's a chance. Copyright. Over the past 5 years, we've paid out over $2 billion to partners who have chosen to monetize their claims using Content ID. There are over 9,000 partners using Content ID, including many major network broadcasters, movie studios, and record labels. YouTube's partners have claimed over 800 million videos since Content ID was implemented. Now, I gotta question how many of those claims were legitimate, how many were repealed, and how many were valid. We have more than 75 million active reference files in our Content ID database, one of the most comprehensive in the world that even won a Primetime Emmy. That would be an incredible project to work on, to be even a small part of it. Absolutely amazes me what technology is capable of. YouTube Essentials, me at the zoo, message from Chad and Steve, YouTube Spotlight, opening those in new tabs so that I can continue on this page. Non-commercial use of YouTube videos in the press, ownership and credit. The YouTube channel owners control the rights to the content displayed on the site. We encourage you to reach out to them directly if you find a video you'd like to display and or reference. When displaying a YouTube video in a broadcast or webcast, please provide both in-screen and verbal attribution. Is that how I pronounce it? Attribution. By showing the username and or real name of the applicable content owner. Contacting a YouTube channel owner. Clicking on the YouTube username will take you to the main page of the user's channel. Click on the About tab. Most of the channels put your social media links in there. Boring common sense stuff. Basically, this page is directed at people who've never used YouTube before, and they want to take advantage of viral trends for their TV broadcasts. What's happening at YouTube? YouTube blog, trends blog, developers blog, and additional press inquiries, contact press@google.com, which no thank you. Now, we've got this thing at the bottom of the page. I'm going to come back to this and quickly go through these first. So we got me at the zoo. This is the first video ever uploaded to YouTube. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you do. It's boring, to be honest, but it's fascinating. The link is down in the description. Then we got a message from Chad and Steve. This is a public video from the official YouTube channel. YouTube has their own YouTube channel. Rather than watch this right now, I'm just going to click on their channel for the moment.
What is up?
What is up? And I'm going to save this for later. I've got something special planned for that. And then actually we just have that again. It's a duplicate already. And then we have the blog, which actually this is blog.youtube. If I go to the blog I have open right now, it's blog.youtube/press, which means I should just click here and there we go to the homepage of the blog and close out the duplicate. Culture and trends. This is new. Blog again. And the Google email address. So if you have any complaints to Google, there you go. Google them. No, email them. I'm going to bring this back and we're going to write down some stuff. Quick little recap. What did we just do? We went through the press page and we found Culture and Trends report. Ta-da. Ta-da. Now back to this thing that I said I was going to come back to. This exists at the bottom of almost every page on YouTube, except for the actual homepage and like a video page and a channel page. This exists at the bottom of not YouTube Help or the Kids Parental Guide, but About YouTube, the blog, the How YouTube Works, the YouTube for Creators, the YouTube for Advertisers, except they put this thing beneath it. Not under YouTube for Developers, under YouTube for Jobs, YouTube Culture and Trends, YouTube Press. This exists at the bottom of most pages. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open every single link within this footer of the page, because I only ever have to do this once, because it's exactly the same at the bottom of every single one of these. And most of these things that I'm opening right now are duplicates of things that I've already seen and or already have open elsewhere, which means I'm opening these just to reclose most of them, but some of these are definitely new pages that I have not seen before. So that means we're done with this press page. We can close it out. Now we got YouTube on Twitter. But is Twitter on YouTube? We got YouTube on Instagram. But is Instagram on YouTube? We got YouTube on Facebook, but I'm pretty sure Facebook is not on YouTube. A duplicate, 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 duplicate. YouTube Go is new. YouTube Kids is new. Yeah, duplicate. YouTube TV. Do I already have that open somewhere? YouTube TV. Duplicate. YouTube for Artists. Duplicate. YouTube Family is new. Creators Research is new. Creator Services Directory. Next up, Space, VR, Creators for Change, CSAI Match, whatever that is, Social Impact, the homepage, duplicate. Brand Resources. So that's new. Google privacy terms is duplicate. So many duplicate things that we've already had before. But also many things that are new that we have not had before. So again, let's write some stuff down. All of the things that we found from the footer. Ta-da! Those are all the things that we found from the footer. Again, ignore this. So I hope that this is making sense because I am trying to stay as organized with this as I possibly can. There's actually something I completely forgot to do in the first episode and completely forgot to do at the beginning of this episode, but it's okay. We can do it now and it won't be a problem. I briefly skimmed over notifications, YouTube Apps, and YouTube Create. YouTube Create just allows me to upload a video or go live, but this YouTube Apps brings me YouTube TV, YouTube Music, YouTube Kids, Creator Academy, and YouTube for Artists, most of which are things that I did not have at the end of the previous episode, and I should have, because I should have gone through that, but by this point they are duplicates, because we found these in that footer section. Like YouTube TV is a duplicate, YouTube Music is a duplicate, now this YouTube Kids is a different YouTube Kids page. If I click on Learn More, it brings us to the one that we already just found, so I can close both of them. Creator Academy is a duplicate, and YouTube for Artists is a duplicate. Now what I want to do is just rearrange all of the tabs, again, in order of least likely to most likely to be a dead end. And so I've got one more page that I want to go through in this video before we kind of wrap things up. The majority of these other pages make sense as to where they fit within the structure of the website. But this brand resources page doesn't. We found it through the footer, but nowhere else. And it doesn't have a logo up here. It does have a hand that brings us to About. Again, you can see that over here. When I hover my mouse up here, you can see down there where it's wanting us to link to. There it is. Brand resources. Below are the building blocks for our brand. While this page is here to get you started, all uses need to be approved by YouTube. That means every time someone uses the YouTube logo, you have to get permission from YouTube, which I guarantee you does not happen. The vast majority of the times that you see the YouTube logo being used by someone other than YouTube, they are not asking for YouTube's permission every single time. I mean, boom. Look at that. I just used the YouTube logo. I didn't ask for their permission. I didn't even use the one from this page that we're about to go through. I got that off of Google Images. Deal with it, YouTube. But anyways, so below are the building blocks. I already read that. Fill out our brand use. Did I already read that? Fill out our brand use request form. We got a mostly empty page. You can look over on the right side and just see the scroll bar scrolling to see just how empty this page is. Nice long empty page. I enjoy those. What is this request form? Well, that's within YouTube Help, so I don't care about it. But if I click on this, nothing happens. How about this? There we go. Now back to this. There you go. This is what I was supposed to see in the first place. Official logos. Okay, fine. I'll put that one up here. Or maybe I'll put this one up here. And then this one up here. Now I have to download these things just for the sake of using them in this video. Using the YouTube logo. And then it gives us all these like really, really specific rules on how to use their logo. Like apparently these are not allowed. This is illegal. They will sue you if you do this. Look at this. Boom. What you gonna do about it? Yeah, very, very specific rules about exactly how to use their logo and which version to use in which situation. And separate rules for this version with the word, and then another set of rules for this version without the word. All these illegal, banned, forbidden. Not only that, but the colors. They got it right down to the hex code. Any usage of YouTube brand elements needs special approval and must be submitted in English through the brand use request form for review. For non-English requests, please contact your YouTube partnership's counterpart. I wish I had one of those. YouTube reserves the right to object to any inappropriate uses of its trademarks and to enforce its rights at any time. I kind of want to make a logo out of these colors now, and the logo will look nothing like the YouTube logo. It'll be my own logo, but it'll be made out of YouTube's colors. I'm gonna get sued, aren't I? I highly doubt it. Anyways, so we don't care about that page. That's a dead-end page, so I can cross it off on the paper here. I'm not even gonna bother taking the time to move the camera over just so you can watch me scribble out the word brand. So that's it. That is as far as I'm going today. So one last recap, just for the sake of making sure that everything is clear and easily understandable. We went through these two, got rid of that because it's Google. We went through this and ended up with that. We went through that and ended up with these. We went through that and ended up with that. Then we went through the footer and ended up with all these, and then I went through this and got rid of it. That is all we did today. That's it. And this thing that I kept telling you to ignore because that was from the first time I tried filming this video. Again, this is the third time I've tried filming this video. This is now the order in which I have rearranged all of the tabs that are left, which includes all of these and all of these. Whatever is left of these is now in this order, and that is where we will pick up from next time. I really hope this is making sense, because this is such a messy and complicated process that I barely understand what I'm doing even while I'm doing it. And so for me to try to explain this to someone else is I have no idea of knowing if this is going to make sense to anyone else, because even when I go to edit this video and put it all together, it's already going to make sense to me because I've already done this. I've already seen all this footage because I'm the one filming it. I have no way of knowing if any of this is going to make any sense to anyone other than myself. And I am 100% okay with that, because that is the entire point of this series, is to show you that their structure of their website makes no sense. It is a disaster. It is a mess. It's a complicated, messy process to try to map it out and figure it out, and they need to fix it. YouTube, if you're watching this, please, I require structure and order. I need a, what's it called? A javel? Order in the website. So yeah, that's where I'm going to call it quits for today. This recording has gone on for far longer than I wanted it to, but finally, the mic did not quit, not even once the entire time I filmed this, unlike both of the other previous attempts, and I think I finally said everything the way I wanted to say it, unlike the second time I tried to film this. So, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely really appreciate it. I hope you got some sort of value or entertainment out of this video. Stay tuned for more as we dive even deeper into this series. In the first episode, I think I said something along the lines of that we had gone from 1 layer deep to 1.5 layers deep. But if the website is an onion and we're slowly peeling away 1 layer at a time, we had only gone a half of a layer deep. At this point, I would say we are definitely a solid 2 layers deep. We're starting to build up momentum. We're getting deeper. We're digging down. We're gonna find the core. We're gonna find what lies within. But the problem is with an onion, with each layer you peel off, you only have 1 more layer, and each layer is smaller than the previous. YouTube is the complete opposite. With every layer you peel off, you discover 14 more, and so you peel off 1 of those, and that creates 14 more, and it's like a hydra! So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Subscribe if you want to see more. Smash like, and take care.